something new today. I had this idea a couple weeks back. Finally put it into action. I figured I could kill two birds with one stone. Get some new content while working out. Hope you're feeling great today. Not sure what the topic today will be just yet. Let's get it. You know, there's something about getting out here in the early morning that I've come to love. I didn't necessarily know it whatsoever not too long ago. Well, let's say not too long ago. I mean, about 2 years ago or so. I've been working out first thing in the morning for around 2 years now. And it was really hard to begin with. And I'm not saying it's not hard now. It's easier now most days. Certain days, still a battle. But it's always easier than how it feels afterwards when you like avoid it, right? Say I was to not have gotten out here this morning and just avoided it because it's cold. I didn't feel good, I didn't get good sleep. I'm not just woken up. It's like nowadays I have to do something. If I don't come out here, I'm hitting a little bodyweight workout in there. If I hit a little run, do something, right? A little stretch. It's gotta be something, get the blood pumping, get the brain moving, get everything working, right? And there's a lot that I have learned from it on a personal aspect, as far as things about myself. Getting out here, forcing myself to get out here on the days that I don't want to the most. It's very introspective. Doing those hard things that you don't necessarily want to do, but know you need to do. They're always very introspective. They always teach you a lot about yourself. And in fact, overcoming the barriers to getting out here, that is what teaches you the most about yourself. You see, because you have to really start to look at what it is that's holding you back, what it is about yourself that's making you not want to show up, right? Also, it helps you understand what the vision is. For me, part of my vision is to be in great shape for the rest of my life. Longevity, aesthetics, power, strength, my ability to defend myself, these are all incredibly important in the grand scheme of my life. I choose that to be my reality. I choose that to be my purpose of working out. Now, does my system need refinement? 100,000%. I've actually been thinking about that a lot recently. Like, because of all those efforts or purposes I just stated, there's not one that I'm solely dialed in on. A lot of times I lift. A lot of times I do boxing. A lot of times I run. Now, it's all great, keeps me in great shape. I'm not heading very strong into one with all my intention, though. So there's not a clear set of goals that I have set just yet at this point. So I know as I set those goals and move into that, I will become more in tune and more accustomed to that. But either way, getting out here as I have has changed so much about myself as it is already. It helps you see what's possible. It helps you see what you can do when you really put your mind to something. It isn't necessarily easy. Nowadays, it's easier for me to get out here than not. Funny, right? Hope the audio comes through good on this. I have to bust the mics out. Next sound. What are you doing? Oh yeah. Got my dog right here. My dog. Big Goofy. Watch out for the camera. Big Goofy. Oh. A husky. He's very vocal. Goodness. I know I probably look funny in this hooded up outfit here. Beanie and hoodie on. It's a little bit chilly out here. It's only like 40 degrees. It's not that cold for, you know, any of you that are from the north or anywhere that's cold. South Carolina, it's kind of chilly. I like the cold anyway. But that's one of those big things again about getting out here. Like actually getting out here in the cold. Cold makes it a little bit more difficult. Started this winter, I was not enjoying getting out here. Thankfully I got some gloves. That changed things. You know, this cold steel, whatever it is, carbon steel, gets really cold overnight. Come out here and it's blazing cold. Freezing cold, one of the two. We got a speech today, art-led. We're speaking at another middle school. Hear that? Excited for it. Gotta do some even more preparation. Make some calls, get out there and go. Mission's gonna be spread, guys. Purposeful desires. What is it that we're going for? Right? What is it that we're really heading after in life? How devoted are we? How much of our time and ourselves are we giving to that devotion? Had that little let's go. I don't know if you heard that. That's something I've done for forever. My girl used to make fun of me when we work out together. Let's go. Something I started doing back 10 years ago, probably, when I first started lifting. Well, maybe not that long ago. That's when I first started lifting, but probably wasn't until high school. Wrestling, football. Lifting heavy weights, boy. It's crazy how time goes. It was like just yesterday I was playing football, wrestling, hating all of it. I mean, I enjoyed the benefits. I enjoyed that I looked better. I enjoyed I had confidence. I had friends. I got around more people. But the consistency, the hardness of the sports, wrestling especially, it was tough, man. Real tough. It was really wrestling more than anything. Football I enjoyed a whole lot more just because it was easier compared to wrestling. Like after I went through 2 seasons of wrestling, showing up to football practice, most of the time it was pretty easy. The conditioning, especially, a lot more lifting in football. That's where the hardness was there, and the technique. I never watched football growing up. I mean, my dad didn't play like that, and so getting out there on the field was a new experience for me. Had to figure out how to get out there, how to be around other kids like that, and do what I was supposed to do. I wish I would have stuck with it. I gave up in sophomore year. I gave up sophomore year, same time I quit wrestling, same time I quit the relationship with my girl at the time. Sophomore year is when I gave up on myself. It's really when I stopped thinking about my future altogether. Not that I was focused on it by any means beforehand, but I had some sort of idea that these things were going to help me in my life. Well, I got in my head, I let everything get to me. I played victim because of different things in my life. I ended up giving up on it all. Wrestling, football, again, the relationship. In the following year, everything in my life crumbled. I was getting robbed, getting stolen from, hanging around with terrible people, as you can imagine. Doing a lot of alcohol and drugs. That was some of the worst stuff that I was involved in. Busting with these teeth out right here. This one was gone, this one was in half. This is all in a matter of a year, like less than a year, 6 months or so. All in that short amount of time, everything crumbled with just a series of decisions. One major decision overall, which was to quit wrestling. To quit wrestling because of all the wrong reasons. I was in my head, dreading practice, dreading the tournaments, the commitment overall. My mind wasn't in the right place. And it showed up very quickly. Better watch out. Move. Watch out. Move. Yeah. 35 off. A little unconventional. A little burnout set, hypertrophy, mind conditioning. Let's get it. the next one will be failure for sure. Oh, there's anything wrong with it. I was 14. Man, you gotta push yourself. You gotta get out there. You gotta get out there and do some new things. Let's see, where we gonna be? Right there. Right there. Hey, get up there and feel good, dude. I had to get and tell you about that early morning, man. I love it out here. Still got some noise because the car's on the road, but man, it's so quiet. It's so quiet. Most of the time I got music going out here. It's not quiet. I always end it with some gratitude though. Appreciate the nature, appreciate the time, the space that I've created for myself here in this moment. By again, getting out of bed when I don't want to. Getting out here in the cold when I don't want to necessarily. These right here, if you're wondering, rock weight. Find them on Instagram, find them online. I love them. I've had the first one for 4 or 5 years now. You basically get the mold from them, super cheap, fill it with concrete. A lot cheaper than going the traditional iron or cast iron route. Of course, you gotta know how to pack concrete. Gotta know how to add the right amount of water to concrete and all that kind of stuff. But that's easy to figure out. Watch a YouTube video. Very cheap compared to the cast iron approach. No, a little bit less setup, so you know, might work better for you just to get the cast iron. I enjoy these because they're simple, easy, cheap, and they get the job done. Get the job done. Wait another 30 seconds here. So I'm always looking at my watch while I'm out here. There's a timer on it. You probably heard the beep. Heard that L this morning before I got up. It's not out here most mornings. Pretty quiet out here most mornings, so it gets a little bit later. The birds start waking up and chirping. Beautiful, man. Beautiful morning time. There's a lot of time I spent out here where when I'm in the middle of this pain, in the middle of whatever's set, and I start thinking about being with my family, I start thinking about the joy of living life with them, spending time with them every day, even just moment to moment kind of gratitude. And now I'm not saying this like it makes it easier to live. I don't know if it makes it easier, or it makes it harder. But it's such an interesting contrast that my mind does that I allow for it to happen. I'm in the middle of this pain, middle of a rip, middle of a set, I should say. And there's my family. There's all this love and abundance. Put you on, man. Yes, sir. All this love and abundance that I feel in this setting of pain and growth. It reminds me something I wrote a while back, how easy it is to love the easy things, but how it's hard to love the hard things. But how important is it for you to love those hard things just as much, for you to be a part of their process, to go on the journey that they take you on, oftentimes for the people you love. Again, in this instance, I've got to be in great shape for my family so I can defend them, so I set the example for them. So I can live longer, play harder. It's always a journey. It's always a journey, y'all. It's always a path filled with progress, a path filled with going down into the journey to figure out who the journey is going to make of you. You see, most of us start for a reward. We start with a reward in mind at the end of the tunnel, meaning we have to go through this to get there. We have to experience more and get better to get there and get to that end result. We don't start on the journey saying, I'm going to have fun in the journey. No, we start to get somewhere. We start because we want to be better in some capacity. But in all truth be told, and all the motivational speakers talk about this, and I always used to hear it and not realize what they meant. In the journey, in the process of becoming, that is the journey. It's becoming. That is the goal. That is the true reward, is who you become in the process. What you're able to facilitate in the process by the ways you develop, the things you work on, the things you work down the path in, these different concepts, these different paths and ways of living. They allow you to be the individual that you always wanted to be, that maybe you didn't know that you wanted to be, right? You were seeking, yearning for more. You thought you'd go after money and it would solve it. Getting money would solve it. It's the journey that really makes the path. It's the journey that really makes the difference in your life. Because if it wasn't for the journey, what is there after it, right? You hear people who have great success. A lot of times they have some unhappy stories from actually when they finally achieve their goal, and they don't know what to push for after. Maybe they didn't have a vision for after. They didn't have a clue what they would do after they attain it, if they ever could attain it. Then they finally attain it, and they don't know what to do. They have a downfall. You see, if we don't learn how to appreciate the process in the journey that we're on, how can we appreciate anything? You know, J. Cole says it, love yours. You gotta love yourself, you gotta love your journey, you gotta love the people in your life before you can truly love anything else. That's a process, man, that's a journey. That's, again, loving those hard things that make you a better person. I'm gonna sign off here, guys. Quick workout this morning, gotta get ready to make some calls before I have the speech. It's gonna be a great day, y'all. Let's lead with impact. Let's lead with our love, our passion for others. Let's make the world a better place in every way that we can. The only people that can do that for us is us, like I always tell you guys. So wake up and shine today, y'all. Do your thing. Love your life. Love your people. Let's go.